Hello, hello, Internet. We are back. Let's dive in. Hi, my name is Todd, and I'm going to be the Dungeon Master for an upcoming brand new campaign. I am super excited. If this is your first time here, please don't hesitate to click the like, the follow, the subscribe, the etc. Please realize this is a live game. This is streamed live on Twitch and YouTube, and you are welcome to jump into chat and say hi. We even do what are called, don't forget, you can also join us live, chat in, spend a plot point, and you might actually be able to influence our game. So no insta-kills or like cheese in and out, but by all means play along with us, as it were. So we are a live stream game. We've been streaming for a very long time now. We've been doing this since 2018. And we have multiple campaigns, so if you've never seen those before, go check them out. We are on all the podcast places, and we have had a ton of different games that were Shadowrun, that were Dungeons & Dragons. They were several different Dungeons & Dragons, several different homebrew, and back to Dungeons & Dragons again, and lots of different contributors. And so this campaign is, we did a prequel just recently, and now we're going to be, not a prequel, like a prologue. And now we're going to be diving into the actual campaign. Fun fact for you, this campaign is called The Whispered One, and we finished up playing Nest of the Eldritch Eye, but this is going to be a homebrew twist on Vecna, Eve of Ruin, which is this campaign right here. Got the book, and I'm going to be twisting this up as we go because I want to. Damn it. That's why I want to. I like mashing. I like to take things and slam it together and see what happens. I'm basically CERN. I just want to slam particles together and just see what kind of magic falls out. So, and it's not just me telling the story here. That's the best part about role-playing games. I have a lovely group of players joining me, and let's go around the table. We're going to go and meet them now. Welcome to SideQuests Live. Hey everybody, welcome back. You are live.
Hey.
Howdy. Hi.
So we have some different players. We've got, this is the first time around, so I'm hoping I can automate this later so we don't always have to do this. But we are joined, and I still have to fix some of the names below, but actually I have to fix all of the names but one. So we're going to start, ironically, with that one. So, so Judy, it's going to be on you. I'm sorry. So let's go meet Judy's character.
Who are you and where do you come from?
I'm Judy and I'm playing Gwendolyn, and she's an elf druid.
Fantastic. And we met Gwendolyn during the prologue. I keep saying prequel. The prologue campaign. And she had a bear friend, but it's been a while since then. My plan for tonight, I should have probably explained this to the players, but hey, it's live. My plan tonight is to kind of jump in as it's several years after Gwendolyn had the previous prologue adventure. And perhaps grand adventure has impacted your life since then, or perhaps grand tragedy. You are a different person than you were before in many ways, but you are still, of course, the same person. You've been building your rep, and most importantly, you've been building up your abilities. You are tough as heck. And so, so we are going to be meeting Gwendolyn again years later, as she is now level 10. We have jumped up to level 10. And so, I think I'm going to let you decide. You can either do this now, or we can do this as like a vignette. That's the word I was looking for. We're going to do character vignettes. So little stories. Now the rest of the table, I'm not going to leave you out on this though. We want you to be involved in this. And so if you hear a character that is essentially yours in a different campaign at any point, please feel you may jump in if you wish, or and you guys can spend plot points too, right? So if you run into something and you're like, wait a minute, I want my character involved in this, I'm in this world, and then you go and play a previous character you had, go for it. 100%. I want this to be the world's weirdest mashup. Fair? So, like, it's up to you, Gwendolyn, if Cranky Bear is still alive or not. And it's kind of fun. He managed to survive against all odds, so it's possible he could still be around. And that's kind of gonna be a bit of kind of a quick improv between the two of you, that sort of thing. So, do you think you are still rolling with your former bear friend, or for some reason are you now separated?
No, Cranky has passed on.
Ooh, okay, this just got real.
Otherwise, he would still be hanging out.
Yeah, that's fair. Because that is, of course, the question is like, why wouldn't they be there if they are not? Okay, so we start tonight with a bit of tragedy. And as we go through, we'll find out why exactly Cranky, if you want, if it comes up organically. All right, we're going to keep going around and meeting everybody else. So we've got, let's jump over to Gordon.
Hey, Gordon. I am playing Fenris, who is from the Morally Ambiguous campaign.
All right, and do you want to give us any backstory about where, like, we could make the listeners go and find the Morally Ambiguous thing and listen to all 56 episodes of that, or do you want to give them a quick heads up of where you have been?
Okay, quick heads up. Fenris and his party were in Avernus, and
that's right. That was the Avernus campaign.
That's right. Managed to save El Terrell, but in order to let the city rise with the Planetar and a redeemed Zariel, Fenris had to stay behind.
So he's been in
and
hell.
Make a deal.
And has he been in hell pretty much this whole time, or?
Yes.
Oh.
He's been a guest in hell, treated well. But so he started the campaign as a prisoner,
right?
And he effectively ended the campaign as a prisoner, in a way.
Oh, okay. This is getting complicated. So he's a prisoner of a sort. He's made
of a sort.
He's there sort of willingly, but also begrudgingly, maybe.
They treat him really well and are finding ways to try to bind him, and they definitely don't want him to leave.
Now, what
and
species?
He doesn't know why either.
Right. What species is Fenris?
He is a human.
Okay. And I believe it was revealed, was he, and his class was a sorcerer, right?
Shadow sorcerer. That's right.
The new Shadow Sorcerer, if I remember correctly.
He is now, yeah.
That's exciting. Okay, so we're going to be exploring some of the new D&D content as well, so I'm excited to see what that brings. All right, so he is currently in Avernus, in hell, occasionally allowed to leave, but always kind of tethered back, or is he actually just never allowed to leave? He did have to leave for fulfilling the deal, technically.
No, he had to kind of choose a place, but he hasn't been allowed to leave at all.
Oh, that's right, because he's a waykeeper, so it's like a custom background where he can open these gates between planes and between worlds, or at least he was able to, and now
he was.
So they had a way gate, they sank it into the Styx. Anyway, we'll reveal some of those a little bit later on, but in order to fulfill his end of the deal, he had to do some things and connect worlds, basically at the behest. Yeah, so we'll see where we go with that. And listeners, you're welcome to check out the actual backstory there in the last few episodes of that game. All right, we're gonna jump over now to I guess I don't know, Bela, are you there?
I am.
All right. And who are you playing for us today?
Well, before you do me, I just made a note to you for Gord's character. Right
Oh,
now
yeah.
you have Fenris.
Oh, what did I put?
Fenris, not
Fenris?
Fenris.
Oh, okay. Fenris.
Hey,
Thank you.
Fenris, how's it going?
Fenris.
So good to meet you, sir.
So, Fen. Oh, look at that. Spelled like penis. Look at that with an F. All right, Fennis. That might stick. No, I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't do that. That would be horrible. He's been done dirty enough. He's stuck in hell.
Yeah.
He doesn't need that. All of the devils. I think that's canon though. The devils refer to him as Venus.
I feel like that's something that Dormita would do.
Oh yeah. But even
Yeah.
just yeah, that's fun. All right, so who are you playing for us here?
I am playing Isolde, and she is a half-elf blood hunter.
Right, and I think we were trying. I don't remember. She was a half elf or a half elf.
A half-elf.
Oh right, so the half elf.
Yeah, a half-elf. And she is from our previous game, Strange Acquaintances.
That's right.
With Dex and Tillman and Hilda and Kid Jimmy.
And if I remember, she's a blood hunter, right?
She is a blood hunter, yeah.
Okay. All right. And now,
Profane soul.
and just a heads up, everyone is level 10, even though in some cases they may not have been before. Like in the case of Fenris, was actually a higher level at that point. But don't worry, we'll explain as to why. And how high was Isolde, just off the top of my head? I don't remember.
She was 13.
Okay. All right. Well,
She was level 13 when, so a little bit of her behind story. She was young, and she kind of got taken in by the old man Gex, which was a character that Steve played back in the game, Strange Acquaintances, and the two of them left the party at the end.
And now they had one heck of a time, though. Just to clarify, they had a massive battle, like ridiculous. We ended that one on a massive city scale battle. It was wild. Biggest battle I've ever run, actually, with all kinds of monsters attacking the city, like all things that should never team up, all teamed up to attack that city.
And Rook, technically, who was never really with us,
yes,
not Rook. That was not Rook, which
Rook.
was Gordon's character,
who had been replaced by a doppelganger.
Yeah, he got left there to take out the big bads, and Gex and Isolde basically bailed at the 0 hour and went to a daughter-daddy. What? Say it again, Steve.
The deadly daddy-daughter deadly disco dance of death.
Now, just say it 3 more times faster for our listeners.
Deadly daddy disco dance of death.
I have to remember not to tell
Steve.
Steve.
Deadly disco dance of death. There you go.
I have to remember not to call Steve on these things. He will actually definitely do it.
He'll do it.
Yeah.
So that's Isolde. Unfortunately, Isolde stayed with Gex. They settled down in the woods in a little kind of shack, and she stayed with him until he died. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I will also
He
point
died.
out. See, that's news to me. I'm going to make note of that. So you guys, he was a little bit older, and
Yep.
but he'd also been absolute. If I remember correctly, Steve, we did this massive battle with a beholder, Kavarn, I think was his name was. Right? Am I getting that right?
I have no idea.
I don't remember.
You had this massive throwdown underneath this city where the rest of the city and all your allies were
Yes.
fighting this monster swarm.
Yes.
And then you guys went below and like tried to
Yes.
backdoor the beholder that was busy trying to hold it was basically controlling all the monsters through these crystals. And then as I remember, Gex actually got one heck of like a stab on this thing. He basically backstabbed a beholder, which is almost impossible. But in doing so, you got wrecked. And so I'm sure those wounds would have shortened your lifespan for sure. Like there's not an easy way to deal with that level of damage. Okay, that's news to me. I didn't realize that Gex had passed. And then, so approximately,
Alright,
Isolde,
Gex.
how much time has passed in Isolde's world? And she's a half elf,
Probably.
so
she's
she
a
ages
half
slow.
elf. So she was 85 at the time.
Right.
I'm guessing at this point she's probably about 140-ish.
All right. And in half elf terms, what does that mean to you? Is that kind of middle aged? Is that approaching older? What are you feeling?
It's well into adulthood, but not. I wouldn't say middle aged.
Okay. So
'Cause-
she's still pretty young and savvy, but she's been around for an extra couple of decades on people.
Yeah. I mean, well.
Plus, she's a blood hunter,
I
so
mean-
that's one hell of a good skincare routine. Just soak in the blood
Yeah.
of your enemies.
I mean, 140. I guess that would be about middle age, wouldn't it?
for a half elf.
For a half
I mean, we can kind of timey-wimey the rules. It depends also, because like maybe she takes more after her mom or her dad. Like, it's not cut and dry. It's fantasy. We're playing pretend here. So you can tell me.
She would probably take more after her dad, who was an elf.
Fair, 100%.
Yeah.
All right.
So she's probably on the higher end of half elf.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, and I didn't ask you Fenris, or should I say Venus? Roughly how many years do you believe has passed since El Terrell was released and you fulfilled your bargain and you've been living in Avernus?
I would say about a couple of years. So
Okay.
not too long.
Fair. I mean, it probably
Long
feels
enough.
longer when you're in hell.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're in a decent situation in hell, that's not a good life.
Right.
Yeah, that's still...
He is actually kind of taken care of. They're trying to treat him well and entice him to stay.
Yeah.
He actually doesn't know why. Like, he thought all this time they just wanted him because of the deal to be made to divert the river Styx, but they still want him.
Yeah. And Sarnia is the replacement for Zariel. And Sarnia was the person with whom, and obviously Asmodeus, were the ones you made the agreement for, let's say. All right.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. This brings us over to the odd man out. The one that the rest of it all fits pretty nicely and tidy into the Dungeons and Dragons worlds, even though they are spread apart. One in Avernus, one in the world with Tazvarel, which is the city where Isolde had that big battle. I didn't actually name that planet, I don't think, or that world. I don't remember anyway. So if you remember, let me know. And then we've also got Gwendolyn, who's in Faerun, in the Forgotten Realms world. So technically 2 of you were Forgotten Realms characters, even though Fenris is now currently in Avernus. So this brings us to our 4th player, Steve. Tell me a little bit about your character.
Hi. Sorry, I was very distracted because I was doing something Todd typically does and trying to upgrade my computer while playing. And nearly broke everything.
Yeah, that checks.
I've stopped that now by destroying things. Anyway, we have His Excellency the Sasquatch. His Excellency the Sasquatch he's well traveled. Initially, he started out as a D&D character many years ago in a campaign that actually my son ran, and then showed up in Shadowrun, and there's a lot of him on SideQuests Live. He what would I say about the notes? So he lived for a century in a forest where he protected the land from destruction. Local fairies, and we're talking little tiny fairies, found him a threat at first and would regularly attack him with poisonous darts. Eventually he became immune to these darts, but never really felt threatened by the fairies. Eventually they gave in to his stoic charms and were respectful of his efforts to protect the forest in which they lived, where they called it home. For his contributions to maintaining safety and security in their home forest, they bestowed on him the title of Excellency, or Your Excellency, and would introduce him as His Excellency, describing him as excellent. He never expressed having a name. So contrary to whatever you've heard, he doesn't know what maybe he doesn't even have a name, maybe he has a name. But anyway, he is excellent. But at some point prior to this current campaign, he was ejected from Earth, or maybe he left on purpose, we don't really know, and ended up traveling to this world, wherever this world is. He, I would say, is freshly here.
Don't worry, I'm going to take care of that. That's actually going to be part of the vignette.
Sure, he's freshly here and is kind of getting his feet under him, as it were.
All right.
So he doesn't know any of these characters.
No, he doesn't. And no, technically none of these characters would know each other.
Yeah, that's right. None of these characters know each other. Okay, yeah, he wouldn't even have the chance to get to know any of these characters.
Now, I'd also like to, in advance, apologize for anything that doesn't line up with previous canon across any of the games that we have done. Some of them, even off-stream, might actually tie in. So my apologies. You won't necessarily be able to hear the whole story, Internet, but hopefully you can get enough to really... each of these characters has a rich backstory that is part of the catalog, so feel free to jump over there now and give a listen. If you enjoy these characters, you can go back and you can explore where they began. Even Gwendolyn, who's by far the newest of characters, but she's got that backstory in the last campaign. Fenris, Isolde, and His Excellency. In fact, His Excellency goes way back across multiple worlds. So with that, we are going to begin our vignettes for our new campaign, based reasonably on the D&D Vecna Eve of Ruin, right after we do our credits. I am going to say, let's begin. And like I said, you can jump in if you have a previous character that might overlap, and plot points work as well. So we are going to begin with, let's pick up with Gwendolyn. So, Gwendolyn, you are back. I don't know how much time you've spent in Neverwinter. You were never a gigantic fan of cities. But you're back in Neverwinter. And you are here at the request of Lord Neverwinter. We're not going to actually do the whole dungeon crawl with a solitary. I have to figure out how to bring all these together. So those who know this, we are going to do a summary up to this point. Are you ready? Okay. Chapter 1. Summary. This chapter takes place in Neverwinter, a city on the Sword Coast of the world of Toril. The characters, Gwendolyn, and possibly assistants, have investigated the disappearance of high-ranking nobles in Neverwinter when you stumble upon the cult of Vecna. So it's very similar to the first time round, except instead of just investigating a death, there were actually several characters that were kidnapped, nobles that were kidnapped. I can tell you their names later. During this investigation, you and possibly companions have actually worked very hard to stop this cult from performing a ritual. You're getting flashbacks throughout this of memories of your time with the bear, your first time here in the sewers. You can also see why, as a player, as a DM, I don't want to rehash the same stuff again because it feels really similar to the prologue. So you soon discover. Oh, wait, let me jump back. You stop the cult from performing a ritual to steal the kidnapped victims' secrets. We'll probably do some of this as flashbacks later, but that's the short version. In stopping this ritual, you, again, basically activate that glyph, very similar to the one before, where there was this pulse of necrotic energy that splashes out, and it just decimates. The people you're with now they're hacks compared to Cranky Bear, right? And even what was his name? Tennyson and all of them. Most of them survived, although many of them were horribly damaged in the process. But this time round, the people that Lord Neverwinter sends to you are nowhere near as good as you. So you are basically, as far as you know, the only survivor, as this pulse of necrotic energy just rips through the room. The cultists also eviscerated by this, sacrificing themselves. And in doing so, you again draw the attention of the Whispered One. So we're going to jump. I'm going to see if we can make this work. We are going to jump deep within the lair there, and there are several. I don't want to play a whole campaign with just one character, but it's really the only way I could think of drawing everybody together is to do a bit of a leap. So if you go to D&D Beyond, I'm going to invite you in so you can kind of see beneath the Neverwinter, in the catacombs you once went through. You have worked your way through the catacombs. I'll just really reveal that as you go. Can you guys see? Oops. Can you guys see that now or no?
Yeah, the whole map's visible.
Neverwinter, Neverdeath catacombs. So
Yeah.
again, you've made your way through these catacombs, and
Cool.
this is giving you all kinds of flashback vibes. You then go deeper into the catacombs, into what is called Dolindar's tomb. In Dolindar's tomb, it's in a graveyard, and you have been exploring your way through this. Along the way, by the way, you have managed to interact with the three nobles as you went through the catacombs, rescuing them or slaughtering them, or I'll let the backstory determine their names in case you want names. Ardrina Lemonsettle. She was kind of a fancy lady, a noble. You also, earlier on, she was the second one. The first one you found was a gnome named Umberto Noblin, who was essentially a noble bookkeeper, if you will. And the final noble you've been looking for was Eldon Keyword. So all the way through this, you've been managing to thwart them and up against the cultists and a Vecna cult leader, Jarrett Galgen. Right, and he's been draining these nobles for their secrets. Basically, it's that same ritual you encountered in the prologue, except they have now somehow refined it, and this message has been passed on somehow, probably because of the God of Secrets, and to this new iteration of the cult, and they are much more effective than the last. All right, we're going to begin where you get just shunted into, when the ritual goes off, you are pulled into a dark, dim shadow version of Neverwinter. And deep beneath this, you encounter several different nasty beings. And while you're there, you end up face to face with the Shadowfell side of who's been feeding this information to these cultists, named the Matriarch. I might go in too fast for everybody. I'm trying to dump like an entire mini campaign. It was so similar to the first one. It's okay if you don't get all the details. All right. So, you've worked your way through all of this, and you now stand just outside the Matriarch's chamber. I need you to do, how do you want to approach this? They don't seem to know you're there. They do have many strange creatures. Kind of picture the Upside Down in Stranger Things. It's like there's a creepy mirror world of Neverwinter. So you're essentially in a graveyard in the Upside Down. So it's not bad enough to just be in a creepy graveyard, but it's like extra creepy. You have worked your way, and you're just outside of these arched stone pillars leading into the Matriarch's chamber. What do you want to approach in this moment? You know that she's been the one feeding these cultists their information. How do you want to approach this?
So I know she's in there?
You believe she is.
Okay. So I'd probably want to be sneaky.
Sure. Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Yeah. Not bad.
24.
Woo! Oh, to be level 10. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right. So, Gwendolyn, I don't know if you can see your character there, but you are just outside. You fought your way through or snuck your way through, and you are just outside of this chamber. And with that roll, you have made it absolutely undetected to this point. You can hear from within. Well, you sneak a peek through the door, and on the far side of this room rests a stone coffin. Between the door and coffin, the floor is studded with sharp metal blades. A person-shaped figure with unnaturally elongated arms lurks near the coffin, kind of caressing it, the arms alternating between these dangerous looking spikes and the other one kind of this tendril of twisted flesh that almost looks a bit like a tentacle, but it is the matriarch Kaveda Dolendar has become a monster called a lonely sorrowsworn in service of her deity, the Whispered One. She does not notice you, and she is across these bladed floor section. Now, the rest of your companions are either busy or maybe trying to find an exit from this world to get back to Neverwinter because you were pulled here by this ritual, or possibly they're dead. So, what would you like to do?
Wait, am I trying to like kill her? Like, I'm not sure what I'm.
You could maybe try to convince her. She was once a human of sorts, and then she's been twisted and corrupted. In fact, her whole family, the matriarch of the Dolendar family, Kaveta was her name. You've learned it through this time. She has been twisted into a lonely sorrowsworn. She remains near her own coffin, and you know that she either, if she's able to be reached, you might be able to convince her to let you pass, or perhaps if you can defeat her, you've learned that in the coffin it bears her name but not her body, and instead you see, as she's leaning over this, there's a slight, the lid of the sarcophagus has been shoved out of the way because her body has been reanimated as this terrible thing. You can see this purple light, silvery purple energy swirling from within the coffin. You can sense, or maybe the spies, or maybe someone else in your party determined that there is a way to return. A puzzle, letters spelling alone in this order. Alone in Dolendar, in the world. Basically, a puzzle that you have determined earlier to say that this coffin bears one of those entrances or exits from this world to return to the Neverwinter world from which you came. So if you can get through this, through her, you get to go home. You could try to sneak, try to trick, try to talk, or you could just try to fight.
Like fighting for a last resort.
For sure. Now, you've been in this Shadowfell world for a little while. You know that most of the creatures here don't react very well to Radiant. By the way, any other players, if you want to be in her companions that barely manage to survive, you can.
Like our old characters?
Your old characters or new. Yeah, Trina could be here. that could happen.
Retired?
I thought you should cast on the spells. Seeing that turned into a
You can hear from the
Sneak crawl.
corridor through which you just scuttle. You can hear scuttling and shuffling of these strange, twisted Shadowfell creatures just beyond, behind you. You've snuck past most of them to get to this exit.
What
So-
if I talked to her?
What do you want to do?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what. Do a perception
I
check,
think-
and we'll see
Okay.
if you think she'd be a pushover or whether you think she would be, like you are pretty tough at your level now. You have dropped a lot of nasty beings. This is one of the nastier ones you've seen, but she is not without fault. She can be killed.
28 for my perception check.
Okay. All right.
Critical
So,
perception check.
um,
You know all the things.
yeah,
all of
that's a
the stuff.
lot. I'm even gonna say that one of these things had already attacked. Not this size of one, but this is a monstrosity, a twisted being made from the corruption of a body of a person in the Shadowfell, and also necrotic magics. It is essentially a twisted monstrosity experiment. This is unlikely to have occurred naturally, even in such a twisted place as the Shadowfell. Something has been working on this. It is very it does have intelligence, although not much. It likely can, you can hear it, this woman's voice muttering just quietly in the back. I said that babies go asleep. So there's still something about her that is vaguely human, but the movements are broken and twisted, and you can see seeping ichor and black ooze coming out of some cracks in the skin. You can see that you are very fortunate that she is alone. You feel that she would be a good she would be very dangerous if she had help, but in this moment she is alone, and she's got a harpoon arm, if you want to think of it that way, and a tentacle arm, that both of which can do a lot of damage with, as you read that as she moves through the space.
I'd either fight her or sneak past her. I think the talking to her she's too dumb to talk to. All the brains in her head are ones she's eaten and is currently chewing
Pretty
on
much.
and swallowing. She has more brains in her stomach than her head.
Yeah, but she's right over the like escape, basically.
Yes, she is.
You should
So I don't think I could sneak past her.
turn into a rat.
Yeah, but I don't think I could sneak past her. If I'm a rat, then she's just gonna squish me, and I'm dead.
Yeah, but you'll blend in with all the other rats. Just don't get into
Now,
any
you
rat
might be
territory.
able to convince her to move away from there somehow.
What spells could you? Not really a spell. You could do this. Okay, you just conceal yourself and pass without trace. There you go.
Now, there's also the trouble of the blades on the floor. So moving across there on foot would be problematic.
Also, I was thinking it might be a bird at first when he said spikes.
Sounds like a pretty good idea, but then she might see you coming.
I don't know.
I don't know either, because I don't know what's going on in this.
She's essentially guarding the
Basic-
exit.
You need to get out of this room. There is a creature that wants to kill you in the way, and the choice is either fight or sneak. That is the distillation of the situation.
None of my fight is going to work against her.
Yeah, Moonbeam would.
It's radiant. That doesn't work.
Oh, I don't know. Fireball. Fire sphere.
As you're puzzling this out, she kind of brushes around, and what remains of her burial clothes are effectively kind of blocking part of the tomb, and she shifts, and you can see a plaque underneath, barely legible, but you can see it, that says, "Home again, to rest forever."
You could get out.
What is that in Eastern
I don't know what. I don't know.
I'm just
You cast-
setting the scene. Fight or sneak? Steve's got a good assessment.
Yeah, basically you could cast Grasping Vine, which could hold her, and then you could just run by her.
But I can't
mean,
get it over blades. on the
Grasping
floor.
vine, you can pull her off of it, pull her to where the vine is set, and you can set the vine anywhere within range. So you could have the vine pull her up to the ceiling, into the room, out of the room.
Okay.
One problem at a time.
Okay. I don't know. Sure, let's do that then.
All right, grasping vine. Where would you like her to wind up? Do you want to pull her out the door you're in right now, into the middle of the room and lock her down? There's wicked barbed metal spikes and blades all along the floors and kind of in the whole space here. So if you can get her into those, it might hurt her.
Well, let's see if it works first, and then decide what happens.
Well, I need to figure out where she's going, where it's pulling.
Well, yeah, but if you... It doesn't matter if you fail. So roll your Grasping Vine.
Oh, that's true. I believe that's a... let me check that real quick. Let me go find your character there for a second. Sorry.
It's a melee spell attack.
That's right. So you will need to roll for that.
I just click on the +8.
Yes. Yeah. Not bad.
Ooh, 25. That is not bad. That hits. That's decidedly. All right. So once that happens, I'm gonna look up the spell. It's been a little bit here. You're not the only one. I'm
I can
definitely.
look it up. Let's go click on it. So you conjure a vine that sprouts from the surface in an unoccupied space that you can see within range. The vine lasts for the duration, which is up to a minute. You make a melee spell attack against a creature within 30 feet of the vine. On a hit, the target takes 48 bludgeoning damage and is pulled up to 30 feet toward the vine. If the target is huge or smaller, it has the grappled condition. Escape DC is equal to your spell save DC. The vine can grapple only one creature at a time, which is fine. Bonus action, on later turns, you can repeat attacks against the creature within 30 feet. The number of... She can attack more than creatures based on it being higher.
So let's roll that damage. 4d8.
Yeah, so roll damage. You can click on that right there. Decent. 20.
Ooh, nice. All right. So the vine lashes out, grapples around this thing, and begins to drag it. It is absolutely successful. Where do you want to drag it to? So, I don't know if you can ping on this map, or you used to be able to, can't we?
Move the creature.
Yeah, you can move the creature. You can literally move her with your vine anywhere you want. So where do you want her to get dragged to?
How long did you say her arms and stuff were?
Ooh, good question. I believe her arms give her some kind of reach. Like, it is creepy how long her arm is, actually. So basically, you want her as far away as possible.
Was like
Yeah.
Right, we're
So
smash
so
right up.
that's a good call. That is an excellent call. So you're gonna drag her all the way up to the top there. Your vine basically originated here, grappled around her, and pulled her back to that spot up at the top there. Forget that last one. Sorry. I don't think I can undo. Anyway, so yeah, you managed to pull her off of the thing, and she just and she gets pulled and dragged. Now, do you want her suspended or dragged on the shards of metal?
dragging on the shards. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Cheese grater.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm gonna get you to do. How many feet is that? 5, 10. We're gonna call that 15 feet. So we need to do 6d4, please. You can roll it.
And that goes 54. And then go plus until it gets a number of 6.
What's this?
How much damage you got?
15.
Ooh, nice. Another 15 points of damage on top of the 20 you did before. You just did 35 points of damage to this thing. It is hurt. It is not dying, but it is definitely hurting. As you drag this thing along and pin it in the corner with your spell. It's just kind of you connecting to the vines deep underneath this ground. Even though this place is mostly dead and dying, there was a spark of life you could connect to as a druid and just bring it out, and the vine is happy to do your bidding. All right. It is now so that's your turn. You do have a bonus action, or I think you have a bonus action still, right? Oh, that was your bonus action. So now you have an action and a move. What do you want to do?
And even that.
But I want to get over to that thing.
Yeah, so you could move, right? So you could like dash over there.
Yeah, but there's the razor blades on the floor. Okay, so I can't cross the floor without taking
Not without
damage.
taking damage. You could maybe try to jump it. It is
Unless
only
I
about
turn into
20
a-
feet.
Look, can I turn into something?
What
I know I can't use that
action is your wild shape? Your wild shape is also a bonus action, so unfortunately, you can't become that this turn. You could hope it doesn't escape, and you could wait and then turn, or you could make a run and jump for it.
I don't know how far you could go. Yeah, just take a bit of damage. Just, you feel inspired by Cranky, who just never gave a shit and went forwards, full speed ahead.
Yeah, and who's still alive and who's not?
I feel like you're having this conversation for real with almost like the ghost of Cranky.
He's there haunting her.
Well, I mean, you do have a wild companion, wild shape.
It worked
Find familiar.
for me
Just a
all the
little
times I
mini
tried,
bear.
except the last one.
Little mini bear. Yeah, I guess I don't want to wait, because I might do something. So
All right.
Hmm.
So,
try it, jump.
sure. With a running start
Oh,
from where you are.
What else am I supposed to do?
5, 10, then a leap. That's enough. So you need to be able to do a 20-foot leap. Oh boy, this is going to make me look up leap rules, isn't it? Okay, just a second. I'm going to look this up again. I always forget the leap rules. Anybody know off the top of their head?
I'll go and find it.
Jumping in D&D. Let's go. All right. Nope. Hold on. Boy, this does not... I'm doing this the old way, too, so... I'm looking through... Jumping. Okay. long jump. When you make a long jump, you cover the number of feet up to your strength score if you've moved 10 feet before. So what is your strength as Gwendolyn?
Probably not much. Nope, not much. So
7.
maybe I don't believe.
Now you can increase that with a DC something athletics check.
Don't you have hidden paths? Just trying to help, but
Yeah.
can't you teleport?
Oh.
What does
Can
she
you-
have?
Oh,
But
it's a bonus action.
It's not, yeah, I'm very limited on my actions right now.
Yeah. Now you can also just wait for it and see if it escapes and then deal with it, or you can take the damage, jump as far as you can, and take the damage. Unfortunately, it's a little bit
How much-
tight.
What's tight?
Well, it's just hard to. The action economy here is kind of difficult, so you kind of have to decide:
Yeah.
are you going to
Yeah.
take the risk and jump, or are you going to take the risk and wait, then transform and fly, or
So,
turn into something?
If
that
I
can jump?
jump now, like I could make it there, it's just a matter of how much damage I take while
Yeah.
getting there?
Yeah.
Is that basically all it is?
That's basically
So
it. Yeah.
then I can heal myself later. Okay?
Yeah.
If you've learned anything from Cranky, is that can heal yourself later.
Okay. Then let's just go for it.
All right. You make your running start. 5, 10. Roll an athletics check, please. I'm gonna say that for
Could
every.
you roll acrobatics instead?
Let me go check. All right. Let's
Please?
see.
So if minus 2 means it's 2 less than that?
No. It's whatever comes up on the dice. Take 2 away from that.
Yes, it's 2 less.
All right. I'm not finding the rule that I want there. Okay, jumping rules. Let's go. Long jump. Okay, I'll tell you what. Unfortunately, it's athletics to see if you can. I'm gonna kind of combine these, that you can get a little bit more jump if you do a decent enough athletics roll, and then how you roll your acrobatics on landing will determine a few things. So I'd like you to roll both.
So we start with athletics.
Start with athletics, and we'll see how much ground you still have to cover.
18.
Oh, that's pretty good for a character with 7 strength. Wow.
You've got 2 crits already tonight. Jesus.
That
Well,
was a
shit,
crit?
I'd have to save
Oh,
myself
that
That
was
was
a
a crit.
crit.
It must be.
Oh, okay, I have to honor the crit. Okay. In this moment, you come running through. The lonely Sorosworn is just hissing at you. Its blades slashing at the vine. The vine still entwining it like a writhing snake. You go running and just huck yourself over this the bladed floor at the maximum strength, and for a second this little tiny ghostly bear image almost propels you. It appears behind you, giving you that extra and you wince. You almost close your eyes because you're pretty sure, so you can get 10 for free. Then the next one would be 10, and the 20 lands you, and you're just like wincing on landing. You're like, no, and your foot lands and does not get pierced by a blade as you are on the edge of this kind of raised dais that's at the base of this coffin. Now I'm going to need that acrobatics check to see, with that momentum, do you go forwards or backwards on your pinwheeling, arms flailing kind of. Oh my gosh.
22. I think I'm good.
Oh my gosh, a 19 roll. Damn. Okay. You just that was easy. I don't know what Cranky and all those fighters were all about. This kind of stuff ain't so hard. All right, the sarcophagus is just open in front of you a little bit. The purple and silver energy swirling. This is a crevice of dusk, they call, leading back to Neverwinter. What do you want to do?
I want to go in.
Sure. It seems a bit odd approaching a sarcophagus and wanting to climb into it. You shove, and I'm not going to make you roll for this. With that athletics roll, you just widen it up a little bit, and you begin to clamber down. The kind of velvety interiors, mostly rotten away. The smell ain't great. And as you begin to close your eyes, you become aware of a few things. The loose ends of what was going on. Your companions, many of them dead, but a few of them still alive. Some of them still back in Neverwinter. The cultists are scattered. You close your eyes as you drift away into the dark, and you become aware of your surroundings in Neverwinter, as though just waking up. You are back in a tomb just outside of where the cultists were doing their ritual. And you can hear the voices of some of the people who survived along with you. Somewhere in there is Tannison, who turned out to be not a terrible human after your earlier encounters. And maybe even Trina in there, you're not sure. And you can hear the footsteps of the cultists running off, the remaining cultists, many of them slain. And you hear the gasps of others. You can hear them reviving the. You hear Tannison be like, "It's all right. I'll cure them." And you can hear him healing, and you can kind of vaguely get these images as you kind of lift your head. But there's this weird after effect of transiting between these worlds. It's almost like a delay, but for your mind. So like you sit up, and then a few seconds later, the rest of you sits up. There's a very weird, and you're looking into this chamber that's dimly lit, and you can see them reviving these three, waking up these three nobles that you've managed to rescue. The cultists flee Neverwinter. And you, in this weird moment, you can see and feel time stretching out in front of you. By the time you return, by the time you've come back, the cultists are all gone. Other monsters and demons are dealt with. There are a few loose ends that you're aware Lord Neverremember will be welcoming the nobles back, rewarding you and any of the other survivors handsomely with gold. And you have successfully completed this. However, in that moment, you see, let's say Trina's alive, because that's fun, right? So Trina's alive, and Tannison is alive, and they look over and they see you sitting up in this, like, oh, there she is. Good. What? Wait. Are you all right? What's happening? And you begin to fall backwards, back into this tomb, as though all the energy is just drained out of you. And before you hit the base of this tomb that you've been laying in, the bottom sinks out, and you are suddenly pulled away, suddenly somewhere else. It is different than the Shadowfell. You know that by the way it feels, by the way the portal. It's like you just came through one portal and you knew what that felt like, and then all of a sudden you kind of half blacked out for a second, and you fall back in, and boom, you feel yourself falling through a different kind of portal. As you're falling, you do hear it's not Tennyson's voice, and it's not Trina's voice. There's another voice in the back of your mind. I told you I'd be watching. Wait, where are you going? Wild one. That voice has occasionally whispered to you. You recognize it. You had a gift from that. Do you know the name of that creature that whispered to you, or no? We'll let you puzzle about that as you fall back.
Yeah, it was, but I was like, did I know that?
Yeah, I don't know if she remembers.
I don't know if I knew that it was Vecna or not.
That's a good question, and one that will resolve after the next vignette. All right. This one might be a little bit quicker. Let's go. Fenris. The meal of real food sits in front of you. An opulent table. Rich, deep, dark wood stained. Well, let's not think too much about what it's stained with. Lacquered, opulent walls and floor. Beautiful carpet, like beautiful. The kind of riches that Fenris never knew as his on the Primature plane. Not like he was always fleeing from someone, and now it is all yours. The prettiest prison you ever did see. Now, what do you want to eat, Fenris? What's for dinner? In hell.
In hell? I think by this time he has a rotation. Let's just say steak.
Yeah, that sounds right. A nice, decently cooked. You've been here long enough. They've basically figured out how you like it. It's always a little bloody red raw for your tastes, unless that's how you like it. But it still eats nice. And especially in this place, it is the best meal you've ever, the best kinds of meals that you ever had from your time in hell. Since the deal was made, the service rendered. Beautiful candelabras burning around. You can hear the din from outside just faintly on the edge of hearing, but it's almost like the traffic on a street of carts going by. It's at a distance. This is a small, reasonably small. This is pretty opulent, but it's a bit of refuge in an otherwise torturous place. Since your times in hells, it's actually, parts of the hells have actually gotten better. A little bit better, anyway. There is still the never-ending war, but you're far from the frontier. You can occasionally hear the screams and cries of souls. You can hear those infernal machines just burning down on the plains below. But from where you are, kind of elevated up on a tower, up on a cliffside, overlooking kind of the bone-white forest of rib cages and rotten old petrified wood. In the distance, you can just make out the smoldering, the fires that burn in many places, but particularly there's this thick black smoke burning off of one of the particularly dense tar pits in the distance. Everywhere in the hells, there's vague sense of screaming and pain and dust and never-ending heat and discomfort, as though your skin itself was crawling. But, at least in this home, it's muted. You cut your steak. Your servant, a twisted half quasit type creature, is basically your butler, sitting in the corner, kind of trying to stay out of your line of sight wherever possible. The quasit kind of scurries over and, your pardon, I beg. There is a visitor for you, my lord.
Who is it, Zeke?
That's canon. She did not want to leave her name, but you know her. It is the mistress traveling in disguise.
Let's not keep her waiting.
You stand up, pushing the plate aside. They'll reheat it for you or bring you a fresh one. You have status here. You walk into the antechamber leading towards the entrance in a small, well, when I say small, it's opulent and pretty sizable, but, you know, it's comfortable. You walk down into an entry hall, and you can see there is a hooded figure standing near the doorway, a hulking shadow just outside the door. As she closes the door, she's definitely got bodyguards with her, but she turns around, a hood covering most of her. And you can see as she pulls back the hood is actually only almost like a shorty hood, only going kind of over her shoulders, but the rest of her that looked like cloaks are these two massive billowing wings, as it were, as the once Erenius Sarnia stands in your entryway. Now the Archduke of Avernus.
Welcome.
I do like what you've done with the place. It's homey. So, are you getting settled in?
I don't think I can ever truly feel settled, but I've made do.
Good. Well, is there a place we can talk, or are you going to keep me in the entry hall?
Of course. I lead her kind of deeper within.
So you go into like a little office chamber type. I keep saying the word little. This is huge compared to what you used to have. It is absolutely opulent. So you go in and there's couches or a desk. Where do you want to be? You gonna do the power move, make her sit in the short chair?
No. Equal chairs. I'll say in the living room. So we each kind of have chairs across. And of course, as probably our practice, I cast non-detection.
Fair enough. On her or you or both?
On the table in front of us, the coffee table in front of us, because it's 10 feet. So
Fair. Oh, I didn't realize that. So yeah, so okay, you got non-detection. So yeah, very difficult to know anyone is here. It's a good precaution. All right. She sits back, crosses her legs. If you didn't know better, she is a beautiful woman, although she's got these thick scars. She probably could hide them, but she's got these scars from some of which you and your companions gave her over time. But she wears them a bit like a badge of honor. She is wearing almost oil slick, smooth armor underneath, a habit from when she was in Arrhenius, but it is stylized in a way. She's come up in the world, or in the hells, and it shows.
I offer a drink.
Thank you. I cannot stay long, but I thought as a courtesy, I would bring the news in person. The Western Front holds, thanks to you, but there is something pulling at the edges. Our scouts have told us that we've found undead, and not of our doing, walking across the plains. Not abyssal either. They have a stink of them, of chaos and howling. Their cries, my scouts say, when they open their mouths, they emit a howling, guttural wind. They're not from here. The Plachta, the council, they tell me that something is trying to claw its way here, and it's not from the abyss. As a resident planeswalker, I thought maybe I'd see if you knew of any of the waygates that are not accounted for.
Do you
Want me
have
to
any-
check?
That would be lovely. You're not thinking of keeping any exits available. That would be foolish.
I'm still here, aren't I?
Yes. You are men of your word. Impressive, but that's coming from me.
I
So,
didn't give you my word that I'd stay.
true. But we have excellent use for someone with your skills. And besides, we can keep you safe. Another plane has expressed interest in you, and we're not letting them anywhere near here. So you go ahead and do what you need to do. Take a look around. You can have whatever you need from us. And, Zeet knows how to reach us. I'm, of course, a little busy. But if you need anything, reach out.
Oh,
Good for
I
you.
think, yeah, sorry, your sound cut out for a second there. Go ahead.
Good for you.
Yep, still chewy. Don't know what's going on. As Fenris begins to choke on his own tongue, the meat swelling up, we cannot hear what he says. Just as a little flex of power as Sarnia takes away one of the gifts she's given briefly, only to give it back. Oh, yeah, it sounds all chonky. That's okay. The internet just said you need to stop now, apparently. That's what the internet said. That's okay. So Fenris is going to investigate word of another planar incursion. It is his forte, after all. So while he's doing this, though, Sarnia, who has just kept her fist balled up, and your tongue is actually swelling a little bit from the meal. Every meal has its price in hell, and so this one is reminding you that she can influence you, even if you're not agreeing to stay. However, you have experienced this before. When you have tried to plane shift just yourself away, just to see, in a moment of curiosity, you have tried to plane shift before, and there is something around Sarnia, or around something around your circumstances that has effectively taken away your ability to automatically just plane shift. It is essentially, somehow they have figured out a way to make you less powerful than you would otherwise be. So an easy escape may not be possible at this time, at least not without some inquiry. So, with that, and since your mic is giving you a bit of fright there, we're actually going to jump over to Isolde.
Hello.
All right, Isolde. I'm glad your mic's working.
Damn.
And Gordon's back in this moment.
I'm back. It was a glitch. Okay.
Yeah, your tongue was all swollen. That's okay. We're over to Isolde. That worked. That was a good pause point. So so Isolde, okay, let me jump in my book for a second. Isolde, how have okay. Since Gex's passing, and as a veteran of the Inquisition and Mage Tower War, you have some status in your world as well. You have many allies, and you have standing with the Council of Tazvarel, which is no small feat. That the alliance between the various factions coming together to fight against the Inquisition, which was actually this beholder that had taken over and controlling all these monsters, and this shadowy network that he had. The roots of that have been very difficult to get at and to dig out, to expose and totally dismantle. You cut off the head, but parts of the mechanism lived on beyond that. Parts of this beholder's organization. Now it is severely diminished, and they've shattered into small fractions of what they used to be, but there are still some of those, certainly both the monstrous, literally monstrous, and some of the more cultish like followers of the Inquisition do still have little pockets spread around. And the power that Kavarn had in order to bring very opposing forces together. Like you had mind flayers and shades, and you had leviathans, and you had drow, and you had all kinds of these different factions in the world were suddenly united almost instantly under the power of Kavarn. Now since then it has split and scattered, but every once in a while a pocket will come up, and your old friends are trying to douse these fires. It's like a forest fire. The fire is out on the surface, but there are little smoldering sections below, little hot spots that need to be doused. You have been summoned by an old friend.
Plot
there
point
wa-
Talathar.
What? Yeah.
Plot point
Hell yeah.
Talathar summons.
Hell yeah. Talithar, which was a paladin fighting on the side of the mage towers, and an ally throughout right into the battle in the thick of the end, played by Gordon, and has been helping get a pretty senior level on the council at this point. And I would say Talithar, I'm gonna post into chat a little bit of a backstory, that you have reached out to an old friend and contacted Isolde because there has been, well, I'll just put it. This is a good. Okay, it is now in chat. Remember, internet, you are welcome to spend some plot points too. But that's a great one. Reward for that one. Good one. Good one.
Okay.
So you meet up. Where would Isolde and Talithar meet up? Or is this magical communication?
I think that I think Talithar would meet up with her at her cottage.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think
He would visit.
given
Doesn't leave
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
No, since Gex.
All right. So I'm going to say the wings, massive fluttering wings of a silver dragon descend through the clouds. Isolde, you, being a very veteran adventurer, immediately clock that there is a dragon inbound from the sky. It's making no efforts to hide itself. And on its back you can see a rider, and the dragon lands in a nearby clearing, and he steps off and approaches the cottage. Take it away.
I'll walk up, look around. I'll notice things. See a headstone. Then
You'll see his eyes going toward it.
And I'll then look at Isolde. It's been a long time. Sorry, I
Obviously,
didn't know.
it's relatively recent.
I'd come to speak with you both. On matter of importance, given our history.
I'm listening.
Look, since Azrael was saved, there's still been pockets of resistance, remnants of monsters. I've been squishing them as much as I can, but some are pretty elusive. So I'd come to the two of you to think about a different approach, something more finesse, which isn't exactly my forte. There's a Drow faction, with likely having webs into the Underdark, but it's dangerous. Thought maybe the two of you.
Oh. You know, Gex, he didn't want to be in the game anymore, so he left.
Yes. But you guys still did a lot. we did a lot together.
Yeah.
So,
It was an interesting ride.
what do you think about this? I could have others support you, but I was thinking 1 to 2, just because, again, when we try to approach with strength on this one, on this group, they melt away. They just won't face us.
I ride solo now. I don't really like to be with others. But I can help if you want.
Thank you. Is there anything that you need?
Well, keep my girding going while I'm away and make sure nothing bothers him.
I'll see to that.
I don't know if you saw it, chat.
It's good to see. It's good to see you again. It's been many years.
Well, I'm a lot different than I was back then.
You were very young back then. Even for a half-elf like us.
Yeah, well. You lose somebody you care about, it ages you.
We were both close. He really did think of you as a daughter. In many ways.
I thought of him as a father, so only one I ever had. Only ever one that wanted me.
You were both always welcome to return. You know that, right? And we rebuilt the Mage Tower,
He didn't want to.
and I
He
didn't
was-
press it.
We were living a good life. Quiet.
I'm glad for both of you. I wish I could say the same, but I wouldn't say my time since that moment has been quiet.
I don't see you as the type to settle down much.
I guess not. Stinky
Oh.
Beholder still feels good killing that thing, even though there was countless bodies, countless clones. Anyways, this group, they have a hideout. Someplace our spies have figured out that it's called the Web's Edge. I don't know too much
Okay.
more.
No location, generally speaking, other than the Underdark.
General location that likely leads into the Underdark.
Okay.
It is one of the entrances. It's near the surface.
Yeah. Just so you know, the city, even after this time, is still being rebuilt, finding new things. That old haunted zone is alive with people. Your kind of old companion, Rook, somehow brought a bunch of people back, sacrificing himself.
Sounds like something he'd do.
Yeah, apparently those voices in his head were more than just voices.
Well, we're all haunted by something, I suppose.
Brought back this guy called Angel. Pretty popular. Bard, a few others. They're an interesting group if you ever cross paths with them, but he might be able to give you some information, some more on this location.
Alright. I'll seek him out. Can you give me a day to just settle things up?
Yeah. Give you a day. Give you some coin. I'll have some people posted nearby. They won't enter the cottage, but they'll make sure nothing bothers this place.
Okay.
There's a tavern in the old haunted location.
I've been there.
Okay.
I've heard of them.
Gex was from there, where the sparrows used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Angel still sings there. You'd speak to him? I think he might have some information more when it comes to this this group.
All right.
It's good seeing you again. And
Good seeing you.
Althor gives her a nod and slowly turns and walks away.
Hey, Talithar.
Hmm?
You forgot one order of business.
What's that?
What do I get for this?
How much do you
I've
want?
never been for free.
Yeah. What do you want? 500 gold?
Really? You're getting cheap.
1,000?
We'll settle for 1,000 up front. And the remaining 3,000 when I finish.
Done. He leaves a pouch of 1,000 gold coins worth.
There's also a pirate that wants to know my location.
Well, I don't know that Isolde knows that, but Talithar has heard
Talithar
that
knows?
somebody is looking for her. An old pirate.
Oh, and then I'll say it, just so you know, by and by. There's apparently some ghost pirate looking for you. I think you had some kind of adventure on the seas. I don't know.
It must have been a different lifetime.
Yeah.
Well, past the past.
Yeah, just giving you the heads up. If you need help, let me know.
All right. You know me. I take care of myself.
Of course.
Especially now. All right. We'll get started in the morning.
Be well.
You too.
Althar walks away now for real.
Yeah. He goes back
on his silver dragon and
flies off.
fly.
Yeah. All right. Isolde, you stand in the courtyard watching a dragon fly away. You once knew the name of that dragon, but there were a lot of dragons back then, so there's a whole dragon faction, so it was one of those. You recognize it, but you don't remember the name. And your eyes kind of track them as they leave. And then eventually, you look back down towards your garden, and you're looking and your eyes just naturally go towards the tombstone. And it's almost like Gex is just there, standing beside you. What do you think he would say if he was here?
He'd ask me what the fuck I'm doing.
And what would you say back?
What the hell do I have left? You're gone. What, I've got some vegetables? There's no point in me being here. Just sit around all day, missing the hell out of you. Be better off to go off and get killed. At least I'll die honorably.
All right.
He'd say what he'd said many times before, which is...
I think.
You can speak, Steve. Yeah, it's as if Gex is there. in
I
your
know
mind
he would
almost.
say that my life would have to go on, and she doesn't care.
He did. He said that many times.
I know he
I
did.
want to be with you always. One day.
He always said it. And she always told him there'd be no life.
Yes, and he would have said to her many times, his old, either you'll learn to live a life without needing a father figure, or you'll find another father figure. Either way, you'll be fine.
I don't need another father. You were good enough.
I know.
There's you're welcome to keep going for a while. Don't let me cut you off.
He wouldn't have said he was like, yeah, so are you. Good kid. And then he dies.
So Gex turns. It's just this memory of him walking back into the cottage from that very spot. And after a long time of standing, the sun's almost gone down at this point. You've been there very long. And you turn towards the cottage, begin walking into the entrance. Elven eyes are very keen in the dark. And while you haven't been an adventurer for a long time, old instincts die hard. There's a chair, a particular chair that you don't sit in. Positioned just right to be able to look out through the garden, out into the view. Very visible as you begin to walk into this dark cottage. No torches lit, no lanterns. In the fading light, you look at this chair. And there's someone sitting in it. And you blink away, like figuring it would be yet another ghostly memory. But it's so real. This shadowy figure sitting there in this chair. I need you to do a perception check.
And then she's gonna throw an eldritch blast.
The size is tall, slightly
Ooh.
stooped.
18.
18. All With an 18, you see Gex, or at least something that is supposed to look like Gex. But when you look towards where its eyes are, they're two dark reflecting pools. None of the Acerarak warmth that he managed to combine. And it speaks to you, but it is not Gex. Where do you want to go? What draws you from here?
Who are you? What do you want?
I am many things. You mourn, but you need not mourn. I can free you.
I don't need your help to be free. I can free myself.
When the time comes, you might.
Yeah,
free
she
me.
throws it.
Yeah, do it.
She's throwing it.
Yep, Eldritch
She
Blast.
doesn't.
Go ahead and roll.
She
And I
does not
believe you
give
get-
a flying
It's
fuck
two,
about
right?
this thing.
Yeah, roll them twice. The shade that is taking the shape. Now, okay.
21.
And roll the other one. Might as well.
Might as well. Could be a nat 20. And it's not.
No. But the 21 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage as this. What does your Eldritch Blast look like?
I feel like at this point it's quite darkened from the loss, so fuck. Sorry, I can't.
That's okay. Take your time.
I have to for some reason it's not letting me roll the damage
Oh, okay.
because I re-rolled.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, there it is. 10.
Full force. Damn. All right. That'll do it. All right. Just blast into this thing in this dark green energy slamming into the core of it. It kind of it sinks into this shadowy creature, and there's a swirl of dark purple energy along with it as it absorbs it, and this pulse goes through almost from inside, like illuminating a cloud with a light from within just for a second, and you hear the shattering of the splintering of wood, and as this figure just evaporates. Sorry?
I'm just saying, sorry, Gex, I destroyed your chair.
Yeah, you fucked up his chair for sure. And as this thing evaporates from in front of you, you hear a voice whispering as it fades. If I can find the switch I'm looking for, there it is. Okay. I have my eye on you.
No. You better keep it open, because if I see you first.
And you're left in the dark with a broken chair.
And she just kind of stomps her foot like, fuck. That was his chair, damn it.
All right, and so you're standing in the entryway, and like you've got this pent up energy, like do you want to stay inside? Do you want to step out? Let's just say you want to make sure there's nothing else, so you go to look outside.
Yeah.
Those old adventurer instincts being like, he might not have been alone. You spin around to go and check the perimeter, and you step through the door, and you are just blinded by this incredibly brilliant light, this sensation of falling forward, though, as though your one step just carried you 30, 40, 50 feet in an instant, and that feeling of missing a step on a stair as your stomach just drops out, and you just and then you step down, and you are no longer where you were before. And that's where we're going to leave Isolde for a little bit. All right. Now, it's 12 o'clock, or very near. We can stop here. We could take a break here. I do want to get over to His Excellency, but if you want, this is an okay place to pause. What are we feeling?
Keep going. I'm good to keep going if you guys are.
We got a 3-hour advantage, so it's up to you guys.
Fair enough. What about
Having fun.
this is going to be largely His Excellency. Although you guys are welcome to dive in with characters. Bonus points, by the way, Gordon. That was amazing having Talithar jump in. Perfect. Chef's kiss. So
Well
please
done,
feel free,
Gord.
people, jump in like that. So let's take a little break. If you guys are good to keep going, we'll come back after 10 minutes, and then we will continue with His Excellency. Let's go.
Okay.
All right. We'll be back in a few minutes there, Internet. Stick with us. Thanks very much, and don't forget to click the buttons and say hello. Okay. See you soon. Okay. Hi, interneeds. Interneeds? It does kind of feel that way sometimes. Interneedy. Hey, interwebs. We are back. We're going to continue playing the game a little bit longer. We are doing quick little vignettes. Thank you for buckling up. We got a lot of backstory and a lot of lore dropping. So thank you to everybody for jumping in and just rolling with it. So we return to the opening sequences of our new campaign of Eve of Ruin. Let's go. His Excellency, you have been in ancient primordial forests. You've been in what is essentially the Feywild. Fairy creatures, strange magics. You have awoken on the rooftop of 100-story skyscrapers, dangling from a harness above Renreku special ops team, desperately trying to plug you with submachine gun fire. You have experienced a lifetime, more than one lifetime, of skullduggery and adventure, and everywhere you go, you have encountered various opposition, but you've also always encountered allies, or turned enemies into allies. Little fey spirits flicking past you. You are in over 240 years worth of living. You have experienced a great many things. It's rare to say that something is new to you. But to my knowledge, and possibly to yours, how does His Excellency feel about the very bizarre sensation of absolute weightlessness?
Well, he has experienced it. As you recall, he has been to space. How he feels about it, it takes a little bit of effort, but he has to tap into his deep magical abilities as an adept to be able to grasp onto the floor or the wall, or, well, can you call it a floor or a wall when you're in space, in order to move himself around. So he's actually quite good in weightlessness if he can touch things. But when he's just unable to make contact with a floor or a wall or a tree or the ground or anything, weightlessness is slightly unnerving.
In order to steady yourself and steady your nerves, you just put a hand on the bulkhead of the ship, just reaffirming to yourself that level of contact and control. You hover. The rest of the, we'll call them the crew, has not been very tidy in their very inexperienced gathering up of supplies and finding their way into spacesuits, vacuum suits, none of which were big enough to fit you. There was a troll-sized helmet that you could probably get on because it was extra large because of the horns. And you might be able to squeeze into the troll-sized suit, but it was decided, at least for now, that they would go on ahead without you. You have since been monitoring their approach. The other disabled shuttle floating, you can see it on the radar and also out of the window through which you're watching them in their EV suits. And they're all tethered to a skiff that was docked in a small cargo bay of this ship. It's taken you a few days. You've been floating out on this course. Your ship and the disabled one, almost identical shuttle, a few hundred meters off. The debris field between you, the remains of parts of that ship, some of it very much intact, but large parts drifting around you as this debris cloud as both of these vessels drift through space. You tap the radar screen and it flickers in that. Well, let me roll your computer skill. And remember, you've got gremlins.
You know, he bought off Gremlins.
Oh, he bought off gremlins.
He
Okay.
bought off. He's actually become halfway decent with that in the last 2 years.
All right. I stand corrected. All those lessons that Bliss, the hacker, gave you.
He's actually, a lot of his improvement points went to buying off ridiculous computer-based flaws.
Fair enough. You're actually kind of technical now, thanks to the expertise of your efforts and your friends.
So that'd be, how many dice is that? I can find it. 5. It's not that many.
That's not many, but that's also not too bad. And ones will just be normal ones. You can just roll it live or in the D&D game if you want.
Yeah, just one hit.
One hit. Hey, that's enough. It's not a glitch. So the screen does flicker in that way that when you get close to things, it's almost like static, interfering with circuits. But it's a lot less than it used to be, and you just gently reach out and tap the screen, causing it to bloop, enhance and zoom in a little. You can see all the blips of your companions, and the little skiff that they're tethered to, making their way over to this ship. It had been a few days to get oriented and to realize where you were, and thank goodness you've got a hacker with you. Bliss sliced through any security on the ship, so basically giving you guys ownership of the shuttle. When I say shuttle, it's a pretty advanced spaceship, but it's on an autopilot course, and has been since it made what her best guess was an FTL jump of some kind, possibly dimensional, but according to satellites and radio feeds that you can pick up, you are still not that far out of the solar system. In this case, you are out just beyond the orbit of Jupiter, and effectively on a arrival course to Titan within the next few days, maybe. So you've gone a very long, would normally be years-long trip, has been shortened to a week. And in order to prevent, in true Shadowrun style, Bliss has blocked out any outgoing automatic calls for feedback and updates, and just everybody's trying to get sense of what's going on. And effectively, you've pieced together that you're on course for a place that shouldn't be there, on the ancient moon of Titan. What was part colony ship, part orbiter, part research? You're on your way, and there's just this name that you're getting. You don't know exactly what it is. You know where you're going, and you know the name of it, but you are heading down towards a place called hold on. Why am I drawing a blank on this? I'm sorry. 1 second. You are going on your way towards floating in space for a few days, and you are headed to... What's the name of the bloody thing? You just have the name for the destination. Ah, man. I had this... I'm sorry. I had this, and now it's... Lambent Zenith.
Lambent Zenith. Zenith?
Zenith? Zenith? Zenith.
Zenith. I think
The
it's Zenith.
Lambent Zenith. And you have your destination spot. In the meantime, can I get you to do an assensing? You've had a few hours now as the crew was getting ready to kind of poke around, and a few days. People have helped themselves to their stolen thing. 2 hits? All right. So in 2 hits, without the background hum of other living beings here, it's just you on board now. And without the background, what wouldn't be called interference, but without them around, you get more of an awareness. There's a central console near the main cabin of the ship, the main the cockpit, where there was a box, and this is the box that you were sent to retrieve before everything went tits up and you got caught on the ship when it launched, or choosing to escape via the launch, one or the other. Depends on who's telling the story. But the box contains It's sealed and it's very difficult to detach. You know that because you tried to take it out and it just would not pull off the wall very nicely. But there's this hum coming from inside this box, and you're trying to, if anything, it's almost like a heartbeat, but stretched out like a boom 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 boom, and this deep, way below what people can actually hear, thrumming pulse. And now that there's no more people around, you can get this sense that as you've spent a few days on this ship, that heartbeat, boom, 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 there's a slight flutter. And in this moment, you realize there's this third pulse. And it's so fast and so quiet on the tail end. Boom, boom, boom. It's almost like a little tiny echo. The first two pulses coming from within this box. The third one ahead. That's what you get with, you said 2? That's what you get with 2. There's another pulse, and it's like boom, 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 boom.
Where do I think it's coming from? Like where the ship is heading?
It's hard to tell. The debris field and the other remains of the shuttle. You knew there was another box on that other shuttle. It could be that.
Okay.
And this is so bizarre. Even when you've seen all these weird things throughout your years, you look beyond the debris field in the dim starlight this far from the sun. You can see the curved crescent of Jupiter and little blips of little sparkles in the dark around of probably dust, debris, or wait, that might actually be. And you can kind of pick out, it's almost like you can just pick out a little speck of what is one of the moons of Jupiter in the distance. In this particular window, everything's all framed up. You can see the ship, you can see the skiff, and then you can see in the distance Jupiter and the moon ahead. So it's that way. But where exactly is hard to tell.
Yeah, he'll say to Bliss, do you hear that? There is something out there. It sounds like an extra beat, like the palpitation of an erratic heart.
I don't think I do. Can I see if I can...
Can I ask you a quick question, Bliss, just for context? Bliss is older now. Brought into this ridiculousness and is now in space in a shuttle. Or is she in the shuttle? Or is she helping to retrieve the other box in hope of jumpstarting your drive to return to where you were? Would she go on the EVA to get to it? Or would she stay on board the ship and manage things from on board the shuttle with His Excellency?
He would very likely stay on the ship because she liked to do things remotely.
Fair enough.
She never wanted to be in the fray.
She's sitting in the section just above where His Excellency is floating by the window. She's in the yeah, absolutely, Steve. She's just above in the main cockpit area, or actually, she's in the radio area, keeping in touch with everybody else.
Yeah. She'll because wasn't she able, now that they were where they were, she's able to use, like, she's now got her
She could detect that there were some sort of technological signals all of a sudden
coming from
far away. Yeah.
far away. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
she's
you've also
probably
hacked
detecting.
your ship. You have control of
Yeah.
your local shuttle. The FTL thing doesn't seem to be working, which is kind of why you want to get and hopefully try to get the other box off the other one.
Yeah.
And maybe jury rig something. And you know
But
your
she would have
course.
sent the others to acquire that. She would not have gone.
Makes sense. All right. All right. So so carry on. You guys are chatting about this weird pulse.
I sense something that is different from Earth, but not all that unfamiliar. It's like it's like looking into the astral plane, but it's not looking, it's more listening through the astral plane, if that makes any sense.
Sorry, dog is grumbling. Can I do, like,
You can do a matrix
it's on the
perception check.
astral plane? I was gonna, yeah, matrix perception.
Sure. Go ahead.
But
and roll.
I don't have my.
I
Roll
have
six-
her character.
I was
I
gonna
have
just
it.
say roll like 18 dice. This is the wheelhouse.
I have it. What do you want her to roll?
Matrix perception.
Yeah, so it would be 20 dice for her for sure.
20.
I would roll not 250. Jeez. Sure. 20.
You're trying to crash the system, Steve?
6 hits.
Nice. All right, so
I got 6 hits.
6 hits isn't bad. That's not bad at all. So you
That's really good.
Yeah, you do as close to, I'm thinking of this a bit more like a sonar pulse, but it's as close to a stealthy sonar pulse as you know how to do, because you are on a stolen ship far from home trying to make your way back. I don't know how much you want to let the mega corporations and the super powerful people know that you are up here.
Yeah.
And one of these shuttles has exploded after radioing an SOS. So if you play your cards right,
super stealth.
Yeah. So part of those successes are to go search without alerting any satellites or anything nearby. But with 6, you get essentially, you being a technomancer, you can drop your senses into the electronic world, and it's almost like you can see the signals and feel it and hear it. And in space has been this weird cut off feeling for the most part, but sometimes there's enough bandwidth and enough pulse going by that you're able to tap in, and you can sense this tether of regular satellite relayed communication. The problem is time dilation is almost impossible, or time delay is almost impossible to overcome at these ranges. So communicating back to Earth is not going to be live. It would be many, many minutes before your signal can even get to the nearest inhabited station in one of the Lagrange points nearby. But Earth would be hours home at radio signal. So matrix feed out here is not great. it's the long and short of it. But you do.
Anything has to be better than where we were.
Yes, you weren't. Yeah, it's honestly, you have more feed now than you did in Tir na Nog, where you launched from, for our listeners. But the time delay is weird. But I will say this: with 6 hits, which is significant, you not only sense a more active feed, you can also sense where it is. It's further ahead of you, and there's this signal, and you just shred through at the speed of thought through the encryption around it as best you can. And it's a language, but I don't think it's any language you've ever heard before.
Okay. So it's not like Morse code or anything like that.
Well, once you shred through the encryption, you actually hear a voice, but it's very garbled, and it seems to be on this technical loop. Maybe it's AI translated or whatever, but if you were to pull out the one of the feeds, does Bliss speak German?
Steve? I don't think so.
No. I mean, it wouldn't be much to run it through a translator.
I think she speaks
I don't have the full sheet.
either Ojibwe or Cree.
Right. She's, yeah.
And then I don't remember what other languages she speaks. Let me quick.
I was just curious
Pop
about the
in
German.
there.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't German. So some of this
No, I
is
don't
in
think she
German.
did.
And some of
Okay.
it is in another strange language. Now you catch a few words of that other strange language, and you're like, okay, you don't know what they're saying, but you just spend a fair while in Tirnanog, and where they're taking the local Gaelic, but they're also combining it with other languages, emergent languages, like Sparethial. And so it's this
Japanese.
it's similar to Sparethial and the Tirnanog version of that, which is kind of the Elven language.
Okay.
You only get that because you've just spent a couple of weeks in what was once Ireland, and now you're in Tirnanog. Well, not anymore. You're a long way from there now.
We're in space now.
Yeah, but there is something Elvish-ish about it, but it is not Elvish. You can't puzzle it out. I don't know what. Do you know what His Excellency speaks?
That's a good question.
I did look it up. I speak
Anishinaabe.
Japanese and Anishinaabe.
Nice.
I don't know that I ever fleshed his languages out because he has some special skill where he can just understand you and then mimicry. So I only have English. But
I'm gonna get you to roll his logic.
He actually speaks more than that. But anyway.
Yeah. Let's go roll logic, and weirdly, I'm gonna mash up our worlds again. I'm gonna let you roll with advantage.
Okay. Roll logic. Let's do yeah.
Yeah, this is getting weird and timey-wimey here. Like,
But just
I'm
roll
just
it
like,
twice and take the higher.
yes, that's exactly
yeah.
it.
So four hits.
4 hits. Okay.
Advantage of a Shadowrun roll.
I
Sure.
know, right? This is broken. This is so weird. All right. So you spent quite a lot of time around fairies. And what you know about the Fae folk is there are those that, for lack of a better term, there are those that walk in the light, be they chaotic and potentially destructive. There are those that follow the path of beauty and life. And then there are those Fae creatures that follow the path of mushrooms and decomposition and rot and darkness.
So maybe the Seelie Fae and the Unseelie Fae, even though
Exactly.
you weren't in that.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk?
The Seelie Fae were the brighter fairy types, right? and the unseelie, the darker, the more twisted realms of chaos, but still fey creatures. There is a brief message, and again in German. If you can just understand languages, you understand the German when it pipes through your ear. You hear in German. I'll spare you my terrible German accent, but basically it's in docking instructions, relayed on loop, and please note the ship, the facility is in lockdown. Any approach will be treated with automated responses. Again, do not attempt to approach. We are having to emergency land. We will contact. Be aware. Perimeter is... And then it cuts out.
Liz, did you understand that? No.
No.
We should go to there. Someone might need some help.
But what about... We need to wait for the others.
They're being extremely slow. I suggest either we leave them behind or I get in that giant spacesuit down there and get that box myself.
But we can't leave them behind.
Okay, fine. I will suit up and get that box myself.
All right, so you spend the next few minutes squeezing your way into a spacesuit that's almost the right size, but don't do too many deep breaths. No lunges in this, okay?
Don't bend over.
If it's troll size, he would fit in it fine.
Okay. Yeah, it's still tight and uncomfortable, but you managed to squeeze your way in.
Problem with troll size is it's the width is more than he needs. It's the height. It's kind of tight between the shoulders and crotch.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
His torso is longer than a troll's.
Yep, 100%. And the helmet's roomy because you got all this horn space.
Yeah.
All right, so you eventually get your way into that, and Bliss helps you out, passes you the gloves and the helmet, and a few times you can contact your team by radio. They're out there, and they've managed to get to a sealed section, but they are having trouble getting into the sealed section. And they've already mentioned that one of them, the dwarf, has almost floated away several times when he tries to punch this thing, but inadequately braces himself and promptly knocks himself off. So they've had to do tether rescues at least twice now. So there is a second little skiff there if you want to clip yourself to that and maneuver your way out. I'm going to get you to do what amounts to the Shadowrun version of an acrobatics check. Just because I'm breaking all the rules.
Yeah, I think for him it would be gymnastics, actually.
Gymnastics, yeah.
Yeah. Gymnastics, which goes to agility, so that's that. Five hits on gymnastics.
Nice. Again, that's solid. 4 hits is considered pretty good for those who have never done Shadowrun. So you get geared up just fine. You clip in just fine. And you give it that nudge, as the little thrusters are mostly for steering, but you kick off hard in the direction of this other thing and opening that door. It's a very nerve-wracking feeling when you first open that door. But you've done weird things before, so hey, just chalk this one up. And you kick off hard, drifting between the space, giving thrusts, and eventually, with that 5, I'm not going to make you roll again, you catch on to where they've anchored their little skiff as well, and you kind of pull yourself expertly along the hull, moving almost pretty naturally, fluidly in 0G, especially for someone who's had no training.
Yeah, I imagine for him with Gecko Crawl, you know, like in Star Trek, when the people walk on the hull and they've got the mag boots, and like each step is kind of slow and plodding as the boot magnetizes and demagnetizes. It's like that, but there's no delay. He just moves gracefully and quickly because he's using magic.
Yeah, absolutely. So you book your way up and in, and there's the whole front end of the ship is a mess. Basically, there's a large chunk of the ship that blew out on arrival. The FTL drive that the guidance thing connects to, most of the FTL drive went, but thankfully the main fuel stores didn't. So there is still a pressurized section in here. And they're trying, that would be maybe where this box might be. And they're trying to get, and they've wedged themselves in through one of the holes in the hull and are trying to make their way up through sections to get from what is essentially now an empty venting fuel chamber, up through that and into the cockpit of the ship where they can get this thing. But parts of the cockpit have depressurized too. Like this, you can see through like fist-sized holes from what would normally be a pressurized area. You can see that it has vented into space, and you can see debris and a few bodies floating around in there. But there's no door.
Exactly. Seeing that they're struggling trying to go through the ship, and they wouldn't really be able to maneuver along the outside of the hull like he can. He would just walk along the outside of the hull to the cockpit and attempt to rip out the glass and go through there.
Absolutely. Give me a strength check.
Strength is so many.
All the many.
He's gonna edge it.
Ooh, nice. Wait, was this a before edge or an after edge?
Yeah, before.
Nice.
9 hits on 17.
Whew, that is a lot. Okay, you grab one of these holes where an asteroid or something has punched a hole in this thing, and you use that as your finger rips, and you brace and with this tearing, and then whenever it gets to the rivets, there's this pop, like the groaning of metal shear, and then pop as a rivet gives, and then the next pop, 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 and you basically deadlift a chunk of this off and just let it go as it's drifting off into space. There is a large opening in this area, and immediately an unsuited body with a slight pressure change comes tumbling out past you. There's this, corporate goon, basically. This guy is just like eyes frozen solid, kind of the mouth is this bubble, and then it's turned to ice, and this trail, and just totally these veins are all bulging out on his neck and his forehead and so on, and he's just there in like just a bare flight suit. Dude is definitely dead.
He'll get on the con and say to the others, friends, you should make your way back to the functional ship, to our ship. I've made entry into the cockpit and can retrieve this box on my own. This situation seems to be getting increasingly dangerous. Say again?
You don't gotta tell me twice, big guy. You don't have to tell me twice, big guy.
All right. Be on your way.
He was Scottish.
And with that, he will work his way inside, knowing where he has to go now to find the box, assuming it's in the same place on this ship as it was in the other one. We'll head to that same spot.
So as you duck into the cockpit, you can kind of see them tether themselves to the skiff and start making their way back. Bliss, you're on comms if you ever want to say anything, by the way. And His Excellency ducks into the ship and kind of pivots himself just down towards where this thing. Now you don't have to be so gentle. This ship's already broken. I'll leave it up to you. Do you want me to take the last roll, or do you want to do another strength check to try to pry this guidance box?
I can do another one.
Deal. Let's go. Roll those mittfuls of dice.
Okay, without edging it, it's 11.
Oh, God. You tear the entire console off. Like, you have what is effectively a large desk, and in the middle of it is this box. In weightlessness, you can carry that just as easy as the box itself.
I would say part of that you could attribute to him being controlling, right? He's got enough strength that he doesn't have to, he can control his movement.
Fair enough. In fact, at 11, I'm going to let you, if you want to take a chunk of the console, you can. If you want to, then you've broken it off, then you can pry off the...
I look at it this way, because it was in a hard to reach underneath everything kind of place. He would probably rip the console apart, flip it over, and then open up the...
It's more like peel.
Yeah. That way he can just flip it over and have easy access to the compartment.
And you couldn't do that on your other ship because you needed that part. But this one, you don't care. So you pry that apart, and you pull off this box, which is a little bit... It fit inside a regular size suitcase, just kind of a sealed container. And that same, as soon as you reach for it, you get that boom, boom, heartbeat pulse, except it's much louder now. It's almost blurring out the radio in your ears. It is this boom, 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 boom. And then you get that faint echo. And you hear two more now. One behind you and another ahead in direction. The one behind you is fairly close. The one ahead of you, that echo, boom, boom, pop, boom, boom, pop. The very last pop is very far away, like it's on a long delay. Your hand is hovering above this box. Do you want to pick it up?
Yeah, he's here to open it, so he's going to take the box.
Okay, you take the box. And you open it? Okay. You pry at this, and as you begin to pull this, that boom, boom gets faster. Boom, boom, boom. But you're zoomed in. You're like locked in on just seeing if the working components are in this, and you can hear that pulsing in your ears, and it begins to just kind of reverberate inside your helmet. And in that moment, two things happen. You blink, and for a second, you're not holding a box. And then you blink again, and the box is back, and you're like, what was that? And you look again, and do you want to actually... Now, this box has already been damaged. You can tell that.
Mm-hmm.
It may or may not work as the guidance system that you guys are hoping for.
Mm-hmm. Well, in his mind, out here in space, on his own, he's thinking, I need to open this up and look inside to find the off switch.
Fair enough. All right. With that 11, you crack open the container of the box itself. And this is where this weird kind of boom, and there's this sensation, all of a sudden the vertigo of being weightless, which you've been used to now, kind of swirls back for a second. And you blink, and you open, and you pry. And it's like in your mind's eye, that magical mind's eye, you're seeing something, and you're now peeling back the layers of the box to just see if it is true. And as you pull back the layers of the box, you see a small sphere nestled. That's surrounded with all kinds of circuitry. It's It's got little electronic pulses all around it, as though it was nested in some kind of the remains of this other box. It's been nested within it, and it fits perfectly in a custom printed circuit board little lodging spot. And it's this little sphere, and you pick it up and you hold it up within, and it's dim in here, so you kind of reach up and tap your light on your helmet, and it illuminates, and you see a glass eye. Cyber eye? Looks wet.
Hmm.
And it then sort of flickers, and in rhythm with that boom, 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 you see a green light begin to radiate out from this as it spins inside, and it spins and locks onto your eyes, looking at it, this eyeball, and then pivots around, looking off in that away.
He'll try to look at it astrally, actually.
Sure. Doing a sensing check for me.
Three.
That's not bad. 4 would get you everything. 3 will get you some of it.
Good enough.
You look at this in astral, and you see the light that is beaming out of the iris, gazing off ahead, almost like in the dust and the debris that you've been kicking around and is floating throughout the space. You can see the light that it is casting is scattering ahead like a flashlight in smoke. And you can see this beam extending directly towards kind of where a little bit off center of where the nose of the ship would be. And you turn it in your hand, and it keeps pointed in that spot. And then when you blink and your astral eyes flare again, it flicks around and stares directly into your eye. And you hear a voice. Not on the radio. It's as though someone has just put their head, their mouth right next to your ear. And it turns it whispers to you. I have my eye on you.
I think technically I have your eye on me. That's what he says in response. Bliss, are you hearing this? Silver?
You didn't
Blackbird?
hear anything.
I don't hear anything. Are you okay? I think you should come back.
Well, yes. I have the contents of the box. I suppose I can come back.
You suppose? Get back here.
Right, all right. Hold your donkeys, horses. What's the saying?
It's horses.
Right.
One of these days you're gonna get used to our sayings. But donkeys is kind of funny.
He will just climb out and springboard himself, shooting back towards the ship.
All right. Can I get you to do that check again? Not acrobatics, but you know the one. Gymnastics, as you pivot in the cockpit and get ready to kick yourself out.
Not as agile as he is strength. That's okay. 5.
All right. 5 is 5 is enough. You turn, you pivot in the weightless environment, kick off the wall. You kind of grab one hand on the edge of the hatch, and you begin to pull yourself through, and then all of a sudden you're like, what? And you swear to God for a second, like, okay, did the suit spring a leak or something? Like, you get this weird dropping sensation of like forward pull, and your eyes just go, and then you're like, oh, I know what this is. As you are no longer there, the sensation of weight pulls down on you again. Your body, your feet, although missing for a moment that ground as you step forward. As you pull yourself forward, you catch yourself at the last second. Stone floor. Heaviness. You are now somewhere else. And with that, you have all been pulled somewhere else. And we're going to find out exactly where next time. Thanks for playing, everybody. Whew, I was not sure how those pieces were going to fit together, so thank you all for joining us in that.
Power of, sure, just go with it.
What the hell? Yeah.
Well,
Power.
3 of the 4 have been pulled.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
You didn't pull Gord.
He got cut off. All right. I don't know. It's getting pretty late. Do we do that the first time we come back together? We can pick up where we left off?
Do the next.
All right.
Yeah.
3 of the 4 have been pulled. So we will start with the second half of Fenris's. Well, we're just going to talk about Fenris getting pulled next time. Thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And if you're listening, don't forget to click the buttons and do all the things. However, I have one other quick request, if you don't mind, and that is that players, or internet if you want, but probably players, could we get an episode title?
Where the fuck am I?
That's a good one.
I mean, it gets right to it, doesn't it?
It's the question we're all asking at this moment. Where the fuck am I?
It is true. It is absolutely true. Okay. Where the fuck am I? All right. That works. I will take it. Where the fuck am I? Well, thanks for playing, everybody. And I am super psyched to see what you've done. It was a joy. We'll come back after, but it was a joy to see you sharing where these characters are now. And so that's exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest. Just so you know, we covered in that section. So here's the book. We did all of this. Like, all of chapter 1 is essentially shoehorned into that one game. That's months of game. So I don't know why I spent money on this book. Honestly, though, with your characters, I needed a way to bring everybody together, and this was the only way I could think of. So thanks for bearing with it. I know it was a bit all over the place. But I think that's it for now. We are going to say good night to the interwebs, and I should probably go to bed soon. But anyway, I'll be up for a little while. I'm kind of jazzed. But thanks very much. That was a lot of fun. All right. We'll see you next time, Internet.
Are we doing a word from our sponsor, or are we going to wait?
What do you want to be sponsored by?
And now, a word from our non-sponsor.
Well, we're here to invite you to the grand opening of Satan's Diner. Satan's Diner, specializing in both imaginary foods and the real God's dishonest truth. Do you like your steak raw, bloody, or do you like it well done? If you like it well done, fuck off. We serve it raw and that's it. Potatoes, no one needs them. We don't farm in hell. Come to Johnny McSatan's Steakhouse in Avernus. Free on the weekend if you're under 7,000 years old.
Tell them Zeke sent ya.
Use the coupon for a free burial. Sorry. I wish there was more. That's all I've got right
That's
now.
all good. It's
I'm
all
tired.
good.
Tell them Zeke sent
Freaking
ya.
awesome.
Brilliant. All right. Thanks very much. We'll see you guys in a
Zeke.
couple of weeks. We'll jump on the horn to figure out when exactly. And internet, you can watch the Instagram or just get lucky. Booyah. All right. Good night.